So we're driving here on Douglas Street, and we're going to be seeing two vehicles using the two-way left turn lane correctly. So we're coming up here, and I think on this next stretch of the road here, we can see that the two-way left turn lane begins. And so the initial look or sign of it is here, left arrow pointing this way, left arrow pointing that way. Now we can see up here that there's already a vehicle waiting to turn left from it into a driveway, and we can see this truck is also interested into turning into this road here. So shortly after this vehicle, they're coming into this lane and positioning themselves so that they can turn into the correct lane. So it's, I guess, in a sense, an efficient way to use one lane to get the job done for both of these vehicles. And you might be thinking, well, why don't they just make dedicated left turns for this person and dedicated left turn for this person? And sometimes when there's multiple driveways or multiple places where people want to be pulling into, it just makes sense, better sense to just have a shared two-way left turn lane. But again, as I mentioned in another video about these two-way left turn lanes, it's important that you don't travel for an extended period of time in this lane. So come in more or less right about where you're going to be making your turn, but come in such a way that you can position center in this lane, right? So this vehicle here is not quite done their straightening out maneuver, but it's important, just like this vehicle is demonstrating here, to be centered in this lane so you're not blocking any of the through traffic. And you also don't want to, again, travel for too long. Let's say if this vehicle here was planning on turning left at that driveway and they got into the lane here and traveled here, well, they would potentially have an issue with this vehicle being interested in this lane at the exact same time as them. So be on a higher lookout, if you will, to see who's signaling, who's indicating that they want to use this lane at the same time as you, and try to figure out whether it makes sense to come into the lane after them or before them, depending on what the situation is calling for.